Okay, what's going on with Mark Sanford? As of today, the Republican governor of South Carolina has reportedly checked in with his staff for the first time since last Thursday. Official word is he's been hiking on the Appalachian Trail. Let me read you part of a statement. This is from Sanford's spokesman. Quote, "It would be fair to say the governor was somewhat taken aback by all of the interest this trip has gotten. Given the circumstances and the attention this has garnered, the governor communicated to us that he plans on returning to the office tomorrow," end quote. So the governor leaves town, doesn't tell anyone where he's going, remains out of touch for 5 days. State law enforcement officials became so concerned that they traced Sanford's cell phone to try to figure out just where he might be. And now he's taken aback that anyone is worried, including, by the way, apparently his family. His wife didn't know where he was. Joining me now from Columbia is Adam Fogle. He covers South Carolina politics at his website, palmettoscoop.com. Here in Atlanta to cover the law enforcement angle is CNN security enforcement analyst Mike Brooks. Adam, let's start with you. Tell us what is going on here. This seems a little wacky, but as you have indicated, he's done this before.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on first. But yeah, I guess the best way to describe things right now is just unorganized chaos. No one really seems to know exactly what's going on with the governor. His office is offering up conflicting statements. It appears to the casual observer that they don't even know what's going on. And if they do know what's going on, then you know, there's something that just doesn't add up.
So when you do the math on it, what does or doesn't add up for you?
Well, I mean, there's conflicting statements left and right. His wife says that she doesn't know where he is, then she does know where he is. She says he's off riding, and then we find out he's hiking. I don't know exactly where you're going to do a whole lot of riding on the Appalachian Trail. You know, he takes a state vehicle and goes to Atlanta, but the Appalachian Trail is 150 miles from Atlanta. It just, everything that seems to come out seems to conflict.
Let's check in with Mike Brooks
again, and it does not add up.
Mike, the state law enforcement decides to track a cell phone, and that's where we get the Atlanta information.
A possible Atlanta connection.
Yeah. Why should we care about this? What's the danger of the governor saying, you know, I've had a tough legislative session, need a little time to clear my head?
Well, you know, his governor's detail is with the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, SLED, very well known, very well respected law enforcement agency, but by law, there's no law that says that SLED has to protect the governor. Because many times, I'm told by a source of mine, that many times he'll just say, I'm done for the night, you know, that's okay, or like in this particular one, I'll be back in a while, and takes off with the Suburban.
Right.
That's the last they saw him. So after the governor's staff told SLED he's okay, they said, fine, okay, if you say he's okay, and they stopped looking for him. But the whole thing has to do, it's not about the person. It's about the position. And, you know, the lieutenant governor has a very, very good point, because in South Carolina, by law, if the governorship, if the power is handed down from the governor to the lieutenant governor, it has to be by the governor.
So the governor didn't leave a note to say, I'm leaving.
Nope.
Lieutenant governor's in charge for a few days. Don't look for me.
Right. No. It's about continuity of government. Right. And, you know, and that's the main thing. It's not about the person. It's about the position and his position with the state.
So if the governor wants to do stuff like this, then maybe South Carolina needs to change its laws a bit and,
you know what?
and figure out how to deal with
that. I guarantee you that SLED would feel a lot more comfortable if they did have a law saying, okay, look, we have 24-hour protection, puts together some standards, some policies, some guidelines. Yeah. I know they'd love that.
Adam, what's the history of this? Has the governor gone hiking or disappeared for a few days before?
Well, he seems to have a bit of a pattern of erratic behavior. I know that he's done some crazy stuff before. He's done push-ups in executive meetings. He's gone missing on election day before. He brought pigs into the State House, and during one of his State of the State addresses, he actually went on ad nauseum about a fishing trip that he took with the state senator in, you know, this was mid in Another Thought. So he has this pattern of somewhat erratic behavior. This, I would say, though, raises the bar on all of that.
And how much of this is politics in South Carolina? How much of it is the governor doing unusual things?
I mean, to some extent, people might want to try and use it as a political play, but I think there's a very real concern here that, you know, just 2 months ago, for example, we had a fire that burned down almost all of Myrtle Beach. Over half of Myrtle Beach was destroyed in that fire, and And it took Sanford having to issue a state of emergency to take care of that problem. If that had happened over the weekend,
Right.
we would be in serious trouble.
And
so there's a very serious problem if no one's in charge.
That's the point you brought
Absolutely,
up, Mike.
continuity of government, and it's very, very important. Lieutenant Governor mentioned that right in the opening
Right.
of this.
He said, what would happen if we had a crisis?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's hurricane. You know, you get storms,
Sure.
serious storms, and everything else. And plus, this guy's not known to be a big hiker, and you know,
Right.
and he's a runner, but he's not known to be a big hiker. So, you know, this whole thing kind of stinks to me.
Unusual. All right, well, we're staying on it. Mike is staying on it. Adam, thank you very much. We will bring you any updates on the governor's mystery in South Carolina. But for now, he's supposed to be back at work tomorrow, and he's been in touch with his office.
We don't know the boundary yet of where civilians